second last video. So these exponent laws, they all kind of start building on each other. So we looked at exploring negative exponents and the product and quotient rule. And now we're going to be looking at the, oh, this is a mistake. I'll change this. This should have been the power rule and negative exponents. So this is the power rule. And what if the exponent is negative? So for example, if I had something like 3 over 7 to the negative 2, what would happen? Well, you can think of it as the way we did above, where you would just think of this as 3 to the negative 2 over 7 to the negative 2. And then you could be like, oh, look, they're both in the wrong place. So I'll do it as 7 to the 2 over 3 to the 2. Or, and again, this one, I do prefer the or. I just find sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. So I really do want to emphasize or. If you left it like this, I'll give you full marks. But 7 squared is 49, 3 squared is 9. Great. What this is going to also show you is that if you have a negative exponent on a fraction, like this guy, instead of doing them individually and then moving them individually, you can actually flip the fraction and make it a positive exponent. For some people, that just makes them go, what are you talking about? It kind of just saves you, I don't even know if it saves you that much work, but what that's saying that you could do is because this whole fraction is to a negative exponent, you could flip it and then make it a positive exponent. And then you would jump right to 7 squared over 3 squared. It doesn't really save you a step, it's just a different way of seeing it, whether you like it or not. So if you have a question like this one, again, you could do the top to the negative 5 and the bottom to the negative 5, or you could flip the whole fraction and make it to a positive 5. Whatever makes more sense to you, feel free to do. So if you like doing 1 to the negative 5. And if I was going to do that, I would actually do everything to the negative 5. I would do 2 to the negative 5, x to the negative 5, and then I'd move everything. So this would be 2 to the 5, x to the 5, 1 to the 5, which would give me, what is 2 to the 5? 32, I think. 2 to the 5. Yes. So 32 x to the 5 over 1, which I'd just leave like that. Or if you had flipped it first and made the exponent positive, then I would go 2 to the 5, x to the 5. You don't need to do 1 to the 5 unless you really want to. And then again, you get 32x to the 5. So pause the video and give this one a go. So see what you want to do. Do you want to flip the fraction, make the exponent positive, or do you want to distribute that negative exponent and then just move everything accordingly? Totally up to you. I do find it a little bit cleaner if you flip it, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's going to leave me with 5 cubed over 4 cubed and x cubed, which I'm going to simplify to 125 over 64x cubed. And again, if you just done it all the way through, then everything would have moved, but you'd get the exact same answer. All right, these next 3 questions here. This one, what I want you to notice is that, there's negative exponents. I feel like I should move them. Not always. Just use your product rule. Boom. This would be 4 to the negative 2 times negative 5, which would be 4 to the 10. Right? You don't always have to fear negative exponents or feel like you have to do something with them. Sometimes it's okay just to leave them there and see what happens. You'll notice when we do this next section, I often ignore anything being negative until I'm absolutely done the question. And then if anything's left with a negative exponent, I deal with it then. Okay, this one, I'm sure they don't even put an or because 4 to the 10 is such a massive number that they probably just leave it as 4 to the 10. This one, same thing. I'm not going to worry that this is negative. I'm just going to multiply my exponents to get x to the negative 24. And then because it came out negative, I'm going to move it to the bottom. Last question here. I'm going to distribute the negative exponent. Again, I'm not going to flip anything to get rid of it. I'm going to make this 2 to the 3 times negative 2, or 2 to the negative 6. And then this will be x to the negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4. And then I have to get rid of that negative exponent by taking that 2 to the 6 to the bottom. And again, I'm sure that's the final answer they give, but they may also say or x to the 4 over 64. That one I probably would do as well. All right, good luck with that stuff.